Now, I know you're into real estate, investing, and all those things in Nigeria. I know y'all have been hearing things being said, NBA things, these little secret clauses in these sales agreements. Like, there's so much right now going on in Nigeria or just changing in Nigeria when it comes to buying land property, business property for your business. There's just a lot going on right now. So I'm just going to let y'all know today, if you see me, you need to be tuning in because it's just a lot of talk. And we're going to clear some stuff up today, okay? So y'all know what it is. Roll the tapes. Hey guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with Iffy, where we get real with real estate in Lagos, Nigeria. Yes. And we got a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to talk about today. Some good stuff. Okay, so there's a lot of rumors going around, especially with the NBA. And we're not talking about basketball, y'all. No, the things I've seen lawyers get online and say, and it's like, bro, did you fact check yourself? No, you didn't. But we gonna clear some stuff up today, okay? And I'm not a lawyer, okay, but I do my research. So from this NBA policy rumor where people are being told to pay 10% into a special account, to these developers sneaking in these little clauses, yes, we're getting into it all today, okay? So let's just talk about this whole NBA thing. So it's going around that the Nigerian Bar Association is saying that you need to put 10% of your property value, okay, into a special NBA account. That's what's being said, okay? And this is what you do whenever you're buying land or property, right? Stay with me, okay? Now, here's the real thing. This has been all over social media. And people are panicking, thinking that it's an official law. And so I'm getting a lot of questions, right? But little do some people know, the NBA itself has come out to say, like, hold up, no, 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 no. That's not what we're doing. That's not official. Okay. So what they're saying is there's no national policy. There's no national policy saying buyers must pay 10% into an NBA account. Okay. I hope y'all are out there and you hear me. It's not law. All right. You're not required to pay the lawyer through the NBA because they're saying that you pay the NBA and then the NBA is what pays the lawyer. And they're doing all these things to reduce fraud. And they're also saying that you have to have an NBA special certification stamp on all your paperwork through the process of buying this land or property. And they have come out to say, no, 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 no. That's not what it is. That's not what we're saying. That's not official law. Okay. So what is happening, okay, what is happening is in Anambra, which is where my family's from, some state branches are trying to introduce things similar to what's been rumored around, okay? So, yes, you might hear of lawyers or local NBA offices there saying that it's required in Anambra, okay? But nationally, it's not required nationally. Okay, are you with me? Okay, so the real purpose behind the original idea was to reduce fraud. Like I said, it's to reduce fraud because you got a lot of fraudulent lawyers out here. Okay, and to make sure property transactions go through verified lawyers, and the NBA could track those things. Okay, so it's not national law. They are trying to adopt something similar in Anambra, but it's not required. Okay, and that's what people are questioning. Is this a required thing? Okay, so that makes sense. But if you ever hear of someone telling you that you need to put 10% down into a special account, no, 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 no. That is false. That is false. You need to run from that lawyer, okay? You need to just pack up and go, all right? So, This is why I always say, yes, you need to have a lawyer for everything you do when it comes to doing real estate in Nigeria. And you cannot just have any lawyer. You better have a damn good lawyer. Someone who really knows what they're doing, because this is what's been happening also. You get a lawyer, they draw up all your paperwork for you, and then years down the line, here you are losing your house because the lawyer did not properly file and do your paperwork, or they did not do their research. And so you're the one out of the house, not the lawyer. Okay? So, please lawyer up and make sure you get a good lawyer. Okay? All right. So, next, we're going to talk about these developers. These developers. If building the properties and selling them is not enough, they need more. They need more. So what are they doing? Let me tell you, okay? Now, a lot of these sales agreements, you need, again, to get a good lawyer, because these developers are sneaking into these sales agreements, okay? Hidden clause. So what are they doing? Well, let me tell you. They are adding hidden clause. Okay, there's little hidden clauses, and this is why you need to be lawyered up. This is why you need a good lawyer. Okay, because this is what they're doing. Okay, so imagine you're buying a property or a shop, your own business shop in a plaza, so you can have your own business. Okay, and you're thinking like, oh wow, I bought my own shop, I own it outright, now I can open up my boutique. Okay. But because you did not read the contract, or because you did not hire you a good lawyer, you failed to realize that what you just signed up for was an indefinite clause that says the developer is going to service your building that you bought for them. Okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. All right? Basically, that means you just agreed to an HOA style setup. That's what you basically agreed. Okay. We all should know what HOA is, right? You move into a neighborhood that has HOA, they manage the whole neighborhood. Every year you have to pay HOA fees, and in return, they're supposed to keep the neighborhood nice and tidy and do all these things and make decisions and tell you what color you can paint your house and tell you what you can put in your lawn and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And when it comes to homes, I understand it, but even then, I'm not favor to HOAs, even when it comes to homes. But I understand why people like to have them. But when it comes to your business establishment, we don't want to be signing up for HOA. We don't want to do that. Okay, so it means you're gonna have a HOA style setup. Okay, homeowners association, and for your business. So that means you'll be paying monthly or yearly fees to the developer indefinitely, like forever. And I don't know for sure, but most likely, if you buy your own business somewhere and this clause is in the contract, another thing that's going to hurt is when, let's say, you get sick of it and you want to now sell it to someone else. Most likely, it's going to transfer over to that person, which is going to make it harder for you to sell it to someone, because they don't want the developers to be servicing the building for all the time they own it. And you're paying these people every month or every year a service fee. And then let's be real. Let's keep it 100%, okay? A lot of these companies that are charging servicing fee, whether it's for your home, whether it's for business, no matter what it's for, the biggest complaint I hear is they're not servicing anything. So you're paying these people money every month or every year, and they're not even servicing the building or the property. So it's like, do you want to get in a contract like that? No, you don't. You don't want to get in a contract like that, okay? So keep your eyes open. Get the lawyer and get a good lawyer, because they're sneaking these little clauses in, and you're thinking that you're just buying you a business and everything's going to be great. And little do you know, It's not. You're going to have to pay a service fee. And I'm going to tell you right now, every year that goes by, they're going to find a reason to raise that service fee up higher and higher and higher. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that's what that is. I know some people may be okay with that, but I think most people, we want freedom to do what we want. I feel like if a developer wants to put that into the contract, it should be a choice that you can choose to have them service or not to force it on you and sneak it in there, if you catch my drift. So all you business folks, just keep your eyes peeled when you sign these contracts, because once you sign it, that's it. That's it. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is how should I word this? We're, the government revoking your land. Okay, the government revoking your land is what we're going to talk about. So a lot of people have been asking me, like, if I have my CFO, okay, can they still acquire my land? And the answer is yeah, they can. Like, yes, I'm sorry, but yes, they can. And let's keep it real. Even in the United States, the government can do the same. Like, if they need to widen the highway and your house is sitting on the edge, like, they're going to acquire that land and they're going to compensate you for having to acquire it because they need it for public use. So it's not like it should be such a surprise, okay? But yes, it's true. So if you have your C of O and all your other documents in line, yes, they can still acquire your land. But it has to be because they need it for public use, like to build a road, a hospital, a school, something of that sort. And they have to compensate you if they're going to, take your land or take your property, or both. Now, I will say, allegedly, okay, some people have complained about not receiving compensation or facing delay on their compensation. But that's allegedly, okay? I'm not saying it's true, it's allegedly. But the law is if they need it for public use, they can acquire it, but they must compensate you for it, okay? That's the law. So that's for everyone asking me that question. Because I know everyone's watching these houses getting demolished, wondering how it happened. And a lot of people are claiming that they weren't compensated for their homes that were demolished. And so, people got questions. So I hope that answers your question. All right. And next, a lot of people are asking me about mortgages in Nigeria. Do they have mortgages here? Well, yeah, they do. They do have mortgages here. And here's the thing, they have mortgages and they actually have really good deals on mortgages. But the problem is, if you're abroad, it's hard to get what the locals get. So, like, there's a company right now advertising 20% down, 20-year mortgage, right? Which is decent when you consider the cost of homes here. But the issue is, if you're not a local, you're not going to get that deal. You're not going to get it. I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. When you are coming from abroad, you can get a mortgage here, but most time they're going to make you put 50 to 70% down, okay? Whereas somebody else might only have to put 20% down. And they do this because you can just abandon the project and just be like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. And then here they've loaned you the money and you started the project and now they're stuck with your project. Or some people just default. So when it comes to people who are abroad, they make you put down a lot more money than they would if you're a resident. So you can get a mortgage, but you still got to put a lot of money down. Okay. So if you're planning on financing from abroad, just know you got to be ready to put a lot of money up front. And here's the thing, you're probably better off just saving the money and buying cash. And there's always a lot of wiggle room to negotiate prices. So if I were you, I would just save up the money and buy, you know. Or if you're building a house, save up enough to start it and then just slowly put it in. But make sure that the company you hire to build it is legitimate and they do good work, okay? Because I was just looking at a house the other day, and as soon as I pulled up, I was so irritated because what do I see? The house on the right of it is leaning on the house I'm coming to look at. I don't even know why these people told me to come look. Why would you bring me to the freaking Leaning Tower of Pisa? Like, why would I want to live here and the house next door is leaning? No, I just had to get in my car and close my mouth because I was hot. I was hot that they even showed it to me, okay? But yeah, so that's about it, guys. I feel like the key things to take from today's conversation is lawyer up with a good lawyer. Read everything, okay? Read everything. Because if you don't, you're going to miss something, you know? But that's the biggest thing. Lawyer up and pay attention. Listen, investing in Nigeria is a great thing. It really is, but you got to invest smart. Don't think you're just going to come over here spending money and everything's going to go right. It takes an effort here. It takes an effort. Everything's not so transparent. Everything's not so easy. And that's why you need to hire people like me, because I'm going to make sure it's right. We're going to do things right the first time. Legitimate the first time. We're going to do the research. We're not going to play no games. So if you're thinking about investing, you're thinking about buying property, think about global properties, because we're going to get you right. And that's why I do these little segments, because I'm trying to inform you on what's going on here. And it's not easy, but you can accomplish it. And it is a good place to invest in things. You just have to be careful. But that's all. I'll see you guys later next time, next Monday. Thank you for coming to Real Talk with Iffy. Like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys. Bye.